It's the final countdown. 4 gamers remain standing ready to unleash their lethal monsters. Only 2 will be summoned to the ultimate war, the World Championships. And only 1 will be crowned the King of New York. The final battles begin now. And back we are with a look at all of the familiar sights of the Big Apple. New York City host to the New York Regionals for the Summoners War Championship Series here at Time Arena in New York City. Beautiful day outside, but nobody looking to set foot outdoors as all of the attention is indoors right here at the Time Arena. We are down to just 4 players in the semifinals. During the break, you guys got a chance to watch Berrien emerge victorious out in Los Angeles at the regionals, as the 2 who are in the finals here are going to be moving forward to the World Championships on November 25th in LA to be joined by both Berrien and Cy and a host of other players who have qualified from around the world. Here is another look at our tournament format. A reminder, it is a single elimination. We are playing best of 3s until we get to the finals. That'll be best of 5. And of course, as I just mentioned, the top 2 are going to be moving to the World Arena Championships. Gentlemen, pressure is really on now here in the semifinals. You understand that it is win and you get yourself to the Worlds, lose and you're left with disappointment.
Yeah, that's it. Just one more match. That's it. That's
well, try telling that to the guys who have to face Tiger and Chuffles, respectively.
Of course, but they just have to do it one more time, and that's it. But just as a reminder here, here's another look at the brackets as we pull those up.
Yeah, and there it is. Goku will face off against Chuffles, and then Howie will be going up against Tiger. And if I had to guess, although you know how diplomatic Childish can be, he's going to circle Chuffles and Tiger into the finals. Am I right?
I'm looking to see both of those move on, considering what they have currently played out. Let's not take anything away from Goku as well. I mean, all of these players have really done a good job getting up to this point, but again, Chuffles is looking really strong today.
Yeah, there's been a few upsets already, though, so certainly it is not a foregone conclusion who we're going to see moving into the finals. You looking forward to anything in particular out of these 2 matchups, Clay?
I don't know. I'm really impressed at how both Goku and Howie are playing. We came into this, I didn't really know too much about either of them. But I feel like they're playing really strong. I feel like Goku and Howie are both really smart players, and they could potentially beat them. I'm not counting them out at all.
If there's a feather in Howie's cap, of course, it's the fact that, save for what his competition has been able to bear witness to thus far in him arriving at the semifinals, he's been largely under the radar, right? And then for Goku, it's a guy that, you know, not anybody necessarily expected a tremendous amount out of, but he has impressed all of us to this point. So let's send it right back into the arena where it is time to get the semifinals underway. There's a glimpse at the podium. Not in the shot, the hundreds of fans who have waited since early this morning for a chance to see these gladiators, and the first of them in the semifinals is that man right there, Goku Eats Watermelon. And he is going to be facing off against a nightmare for most players in Summoner's War. It is Chuffles. And we say nightmares because he understands what it means to be feared.
I think I'm good, right? I think I'm good. I'm not lying. I think I'm great, but I wouldn't put myself as the favorite to win. And I feel like if you lose to the favorite to win in a tournament, it's like, okay, well, they were expected to win, right? But then if you lose to someone who's not the favorite, but you know they're kind of good, it's like more, it's worse than if you just lost to the favorite. You know what I mean? So there's more of like an emotional, like emotional factor of like, oh, I don't want to lose to this guy, whereas because they know they can beat me. Whereas if you play like the best of the best, it's like, well, I don't really have a super high chance of beating them anyways, so maybe that's why. I wouldn't put myself as the scariest competitor out there. So I think they're lying.
There's this phenomenon in nature called playing possum, gentlemen. I think you may be familiar with it. It feels as though right now Chuffles could be playing possum. Perhaps he didn't anticipate he would have advanced this far. Obviously, he understood he was going to be playing potentially Sin Booty at some point, and you know that's the man that many had picked along with Tiger to get far. But he's the man who's feared now. He's, ironically enough, the guy he's talking about. You know, he says it takes himself a really long time to get good at a game. He's only been playing since August 2015, and he is really good. He's keeping it real as we are set and ready to start the draft, Childish, between Chuffles and Goku. Here we go. The first of two semifinals, game one, underway.
Man, here we go. Got Goku locking it down with regards to Tiana first pick, and then Chuffles answering back on the Sierra Velajuel pick here. Of course, now we have to wait. It looks like Goku's kind of sitting back, trying to decide what to do here. 9 seconds to go. Interesting thing. He must have been looking at a possible Sierra to pick in his lineup here and had to get set back here.
Ganny Wusa follow-up from Goku.
We've seen a lot of Tiana from Goku, and I think he heavily relies on that unit. It actually does a lot of damage, as we've seen in the past matches as well, and he picks it first here as well, along with Ganymede and Wusa. But I feel like it's a good option going into Sierra. You definitely want to have some sort of immunity buff if you plan to let her through. Of course, the Wusa versus the Perna is also a good matchup as well.
Given what Chuffles has already seen out of Goku to this point, and the fact that Tiana doesn't really rank into Chuffles' typical builds, could Goku leading with Tiana allow Chuffles to zero in and say, I know you're reliant on this unit, I'm going to go ahead and ban it?
Could be, and I mean, we see an extremely uncommon pick here, going with Garo, the Fire Ninja.
Yep.
What do you think about that, Childish?
I think it's great. I'm so glad to see him play a little bit of a gambling game here, mixing it up. Garo, the Fire Ninja, recently got a change to his skill set that's going to allow him to, once he is basically able to take down or gets knocked out, the damage that he won't take the damage, but he will generate 50% of his attack bar, and unless an opponent gets an additional turn to take him out, he will be able to push his attack bar up and stay alive.
So a very unconventional and yet to be seen pick between LA and New York. I don't ever remember seeing this, whether it was banned or whether it was drafted.
No.
So obviously some of the recent tweaks perhaps incentivizing Goku to employ the Fire Ninja. And certainly Chuffles wasn't ready for that, but nonetheless he bans the Ganymede.
Yep.
To be honest with you, I think it's a good choice going against Ethna and Sierra. Garo could potentially actually work.
Yeah, I love it. I love the choice. It's great. Again, if it takes a blow that's going to basically kill him, a deathly blow, it will not take the damage. It will increase the attack bar. But of course, if the opponent gets an additional turn, it could take it out right then and there. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, talk about RNG though.
Yeah, yeah.
So here we go, game one in the first of the semifinals. And the first attack went to Chuffles, I believe. Did Chuffles started off?
Chuffles got the first turn, but then Goku was able to come back right away with his Tiana and violent Wusa,
Yep.
pick. And again, the Praha able to remove most of the buffs there, but Garo and Laika still with full buffs there, which is a little bit concerning for Chuffles. Able to get the stun though on Garo, which is definitely what he was looking for. Yep. And is he gonna put the bomb down on Garo? Is he gonna? Yeah, he does. Goes for the bomb on Garo, leaves it there so that way he can get another bomb landed here as soon as possible.
Yeah, I like to play that by holding it back. Obviously, the stun's in play, but keep in mind that if the bomb is going to do enough damage to essentially take him out, again, he's just going to be able to increase the attack bar on Garo and allow Garo to get an additional turn. Garo's second skill, one of the things that most people may have not seen, his second skill is going to be able to have 2 chances to land a stun. So again, considering that Chuffles does not have any kind of immunity whatsoever, those stuns can hold him back, especially with regards to Perna here being the only fire monster versus Garo and Laika to do so.
Getting the violent proc from Wusa there for Goku. Still unable to land any critical hits on Sierra, leaving her to be able to land another bomb. And she still stays alive to be able to get another violent proc and get a couple more turns in. Unfortunately, I don't think she's going to last too much longer, but she actually is going to get another turn based on her attack bar, and she's going to be able to land another bomb onto Wusa, and that's going to be game over for Goku at this point.
Yeah, Garo out of the picture.
Take note on that one there.
Just that HP, just a little bit extra HP is the reason why she was able to come back and land a couple more bombs and win those games.
There it is. That's why we farm day in and day out, getting those grindstones and enchantments to improve our runes just that much more. And we have it right there. Game one going to the man, Mr. Chuffles.
So down 1-0 is Goku. Maybe not going to get cute with that Garo again?
I don't know. It was an interesting pick. Again, I feel like it was the right, I mean, not necessarily the one right pick out of all the monsters that he has.
But it worked given
was
the comp he was up against.
Right.
Right situation to use it. I probably wouldn't expect to see it one more time, though.
Right. Unless Chuffles decides to lay out 2 more wind-based monsters like a Sierra Ethna. I mean, again, I feel like incorporated that he was playing on the Luna, but the aspect of picking those 2 fire monsters versus 2 out of the 3 monsters that Chuffle was bringing, having the elemental advantage, that might have been one of the reasons to incorporate.
And Chuffles picking up the first pick, wasting no time blocking the Tiana.
Yep, I hope.
He's did his homework. He knows how important that Tiana is to Goku, and it leaves him to the last second picking his team. Locks in with the Fang Yan and Rakuni pick, which is always a strong combination. Chuffle is going a little bit more YOLO this time as well, as we've seen in the past, because he was able to lock down that Tiana.
It looks like Goku was anticipating the YOLO approach by Chuffles, and rightfully so here, going with that Fang Gang and Rakuni. I'm thinking that he's going to stick with that kind of strategy, bring some more sustainability to his composition. But again, we cannot count Chuffles out. He's already proven that his aggressive approach can work.
I'd like
The
to see
Sierra and the Perna follow-up from Chuffles, they're a real wrecking crew so far.
We got an interesting
2
pick
more
right here.
fire monsters. Both of them really interesting picks. We've seen the segment once already, and it ended up working out just fine. But the Fire Mermaid.
Fire
Josh.
Mermaid is Plady, that it is the Fire Mermaid. Really unique monster. First skill having the buff removal. Second skill, similar to Beta, having the heal as well as the attack bar increase. And then, of course, one of the recent changes on his third skill, being able to get that reset aspect here. Really, really nice, considering that we have Perna in there. That is a really good point to bring. He can be able to take out Perna in one go.
Goku waiting to the last minute on every single one of his picks because he knows that this is a very, very crucial point in the entire tournament for him right now. He needs to make sure that he's focusing on what he's doing, being 100% on all of his picks, and it's super, super interesting to see Plata go down for him being in this situation.
I like the ban there on Chuffles, considering what he has laid out. But then again, 2 different types of reset by means of Plady and segment here. This could cause Chuffles a little bit of an issue if he cannot take a unit out right from the get-go.
So I think right now, just based on pick bans, Chuffles got the slight advantage because if that Wusa goes up, we know it's not super fast because it is on Violent. Chuffles may outspeed the Wusa with his Tiana, but then should be able to put up the immunity buffs from Veligil. So I don't know.
I'm curious.
It's going to be a good one.
I'm curious to see how he decides to use that Rakuni in composition with like the rest of his team here. Who is he going to resurge? Is he going to try to bring back Wusa multiple times to keep that immunity despite the fact that Tiana's in there? Or does he resurge a different monster, maybe Seknot or Plady, to get those resets quickly?
YOLO approach from Chuffles here, looking to close it out with a 2-0 victory. Doesn't want to get to that third game.
Ooh. Just missed the kill on Rakuni, and I was a little bit skeptical on what his plan was because he used the Tiana before Wusa actually used his third skill, but here goes the third skill now with Tiana unable to remove anything. So it's going to be up to breaking through that shield, getting that Perna back in there to hopefully take out that Rakuni. Otherwise, right now, that Perna's not in a good situation. It's stunned down.
It's locked down. And then again, if something were to happen where, there you go, Annabelle brings it back. I see that he's trying to work down the Plady. I thought he was going to go for Rakuni initially, but of course with that defense break on Plady, it looks very, very enticing.
Yeah, definitely want to take advantage of the defense break on Plady. Of course, because it doesn't have the shield either on that one as well. So seeing that, it makes a little bit sense there, but as far as that Perna, it's attack broken now. I think the 2 main units to watch is the Perna for Chuffles, and then making sure that he can take out the Rakuni from Goku's team.
Right, yeah. And let's not forget that Plady, the Fire Mermaid, that second skill is able to actually revive with the second skill, revive or the heal aspect, whichever it decides to do. But of course, if it does use a revive, the counter on it gets increased from 4 to 7 turns. So Rakuni is now up, trying to take out that Perna. Wasn't able to get it done. Trying to get a sleep there from Annabelle. Chuffles did not land it. Wusa now is going to get that Perna away. And it's not going to be coming back, Clay.
Nope, decided to finish off the Perna, not play any games instead of going for the third skill. Does get the violent proc though from the Wusa. Still, again, no reason to put up the shields because there's not really too much threat out there anymore with that Perna gone, and that Platy, whatever you want to call it, turns out to be a good choice here.
The Fire Mermaid.
The Fire Mermaid, yeah. Getting another crucial stun on Veligil, so Veligil cannot use his Sanctuary. Kuni is now up. Is he going to resurge? I like the choice there with the third skill being available. Charming Voice landed on Tiana, but he's going to get it in. It does. Tiana's skills are completely reset, so now Wusa can put up his Wish of Immortality to get the immunity and shield up for 3 turns without worrying about that Tiana.
So there's still a lot of sustainability from Shuffles with having the Annabelle still in play. So even though it looks heavily in favor of Goku at this point, he's still got to be a little bit careful to finish it off. I think once he gets down either the Tiana, looks like he's working on right now, or the Annabelle, which would be his next decision, I would assume. But he actually takes off the will from Veligil, which I like because he's setting himself up for a nice Sekhmet second skill here.
Yeah. Speaking about the skill set, let's not forget these Desert Queens bringing that attack break on the first skill is definitely important considering how the mechanic of the clock timer running out and providing a little bit more attack power. Obviously, these are support-based monsters, so you're not going to see a crazy ton of damage, but again, really nice component here to have in the later stages of the matches.
Down goes the second skill from Sekhmet, and here goes Platy now onto the Tiana, does increase the cool time and gets a stun.
Very, very nice. That Platy is definitely coming into play today.
Nice.
First we had Theomore.
We see what you did there.
You like that? You like that?
Truffle zeroed in on the Raccoon early and then sort of seemed to give up after not having closed it out. Refocusing, I know, was there a defense break on the Platy earlier that caused him to sort of shift his attention?
He may not have been suspecting such a huge, utility or play from Platy and decided that that was the more important monster to get. But as you can see, both of their faces right there as Annabelle gets stunned, but she did not care. She was like, nope, I'm still going to take this violent proc and get right back in there. Fortunately, not a whole lot of skills that she had up at that point, but now interesting using the third skill on Tiana as I was pretty much ready to die anyway. But again, mistakes can happen a little bit at this point just because he's got this one pretty much in the bag here, I would assume. The only other
Didn't want to take any chances.
Yeah, I didn't want to take any chances, I would assume, but
And he may know something that we don't know. Maybe that third skill has a little bit stronger damage multiplier to make sure that he can consolidate or just take it out.
Goku looking really, really good at this point here. Dropping those debuffs on. Hopefully gonna kill the Veligil at this point, and yep, Shuffles does resign.
Okay.
So the match is now level at 1 game apiece. Goku making the necessary adjustments, and we will go to game 3 to decide who the first person to guarantee a trip to the Worlds will be and give themselves a shot at the New York regional title by getting into the finals. Goku or Chuffles?
And I said, don't count Goku out. And just like that, he evens the score up at 1-all, and now Chuffles gets the first pick here. Decides to go with Sierra instead of taking away Goku's Tiana this time, going maybe back to his roots. But it looks like, again, we go to the coin toss, so Chuffles did win that coin toss at that point.
Yeah, Sierra, I love the pick there by Chuffles on the first. With regards to Sierra, Sierra is one of those units that even if you get the perfect, you're not going to give a lot of strategy, despite the fact that Goku does know what kind of strategy he likes to employ. I think Chuffles may wait, in fact, until to see what Goku brings in order to decide to change what he wants to do. And it looks like he may be going that YOLO approach.
So here we go again with Goku's Tiana Feng Yan combination. Chuffles answering back with 2 fire monsters of his own with Perna and Veligil.
We got 20 seconds to get it underway from Goku. Second round of picks. What is he going to decide?
Similar comp so far from Chuffles.
Yeah.
And Goku taking advantage of the opportunity to pick up that Tiana, which he didn't have in the last game, and loves that unit.
Looks like
Goes again with the Platy Sekhmet combination, as it worked so well for him last time. I would say I'd agree with that. Stick with what works, and Chuffle is not really having too much different diversity in his picks so far, so why not?
Yeah, and have we seen Goku pull out a Ganymede yet as of today, or no?
I don't think I saw.
I don't think it says. So this might be the answer, an alternative approach to Ganymede if you don't have it. For all the viewers out there, not having those crucial Nat 5s, take note, fire Platey.
Before you go whining about not having any Nat 5s, there are other options. And you know who's paying attention to that Platey pick is Howie and Tiger.
You know it.
Because obviously if they get through one another, whoever gets to the finals may be having a deal with some of that Platey if Goku wins this match here. And back with Garo.
Yeah, Garo is
comes
back.
Goku.
I wonder what he's going to do. I wonder if that segment is super, super fast, considering that Garo is bringing the 30% speed lead to fire. If he can get the first turn and possibly reset one of these crucial units, we'll have to decide. I don't know. This will be interesting.
I think it's going to be fun if Goku somehow manages to win this fight, to see two less used monsters, 4-star monsters, able to have a really solid effect on a top-tier RTA player.
Yeah.
I think that brings a lot of hope to a lot of viewers out there. So
and
I
as
like what Goku's trying to do.
And as I predicted, he does bust out the 30% lead, getting the first turn on Sekhmet and getting it down. I think he did get the reset on Velajul here, so really nice job on that aspect here. Of course, we got Platey to back it up to lock down Perna. My guess is he's going to be trying to work down Perna with the second reset and try to take it out with Garo.
Now last game rather, we saw Chuffle zeroing in on Raccoon. Raccoon not here on this occasion, but Platey out there who played such an instrumental role last time around. Do you think we'll see him focus his attack on Platey more so in this game?
I would assume that he's going to start focusing on the Platey. It could either go one way or another depending on the defense breaks. Does get a lot of, I mean, it's a full team defense break now, so that's super crucial for Chuffles, but Chuffles also got the resistance on Platey's reset, so that's one thing that puts Chuffles in the advantage as well. But as you can see, the damage goes down onto Platey. That Garo is doing a ton of damage to the Perna, though. If you can get that Perna down as soon as possible, it could be a really good situation for Goku to be in, but he's got the heal up from Praha, does decide to use it.
Yeah, I was actually pretty surprised about 6 turns back. Annabelle had the opportunity to cleanse Perna and get it out of that stun, but Chuffles actually decided not to do it, but of course it doesn't mean anything right now. Perna coming out of the woodwork, taking out that unit right there.
Yep, Platey down.
Wow.
Lots of damage from that Perna, now taking out essentially 2 monsters, a whole lot of damage on both the Sekhmet and the Platey, of course, that went down.
Speaking of damage, 15K times twice, a total of 30K on that Perna, knocking it out. Don't call it a comeback. Garo is taking out these premium Nat 5s.
Garo there using his passive to avoid all the damage from Velajul.
Right. And I think it was a great choice to go for the Perna. Obviously, Perna being the damage dealer of the team. Perna's going to be the one, on that violence that maybe Annabelle will get the additional turns on the first skill, but of course, if that passive procs, he's going to be able to increase the attack bar and essentially get a turn to just get it done. And ooh, the additional turn is in, and there it goes.
Down goes Garo.
We just talked about that right there. Getting the additional turn on Annabelle was able to knock it out. Shuffles is looking really good.
Yep, I think that's pretty much it. That's exactly what Shuffles needed. Came down to that one violent proc there that was able to allow him to take out Garo and not really have too much problems here going in to the finals for
Full team defense break, obviously a big advantage for Chuffles. Zeroed in properly on the Platey, which he sort of neglected to do with the Raccoon out there in the last game, and now writing was on the wall. Goku concedes, and Chuffles will be the first player to make his way into the finals and guarantee a spot at Worlds, guys. And that was a heck of a match. We saw, like in the pick ban phases in particular, we saw some really interesting things going on out of Goku in particular, who of course won't be advancing. But from a selfish standpoint, for entertainment, we love seeing those monsters that don't typically get drafted actually getting through, and he showed us some of that. The Platey in particular, Childish, really, really interesting use.
A really interesting
that
monster.
unit.
Like we said before, if they don't have the Ganymede there, that is a great option to have. Having that ability to reset, revive, increase the attack bar, so many options. And like we said before, when it comes to RTA, bringing in monsters that just have tons of different roles that can play, it's a nice addition to his team.
Yeah, versatility, a nice addition to just balance overall, right, Clay?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, we like seeing those extra monsters. We like seeing those 4-star monsters. Unfortunately, Chuffles was able to deal with them appropriately at that last match, and Chuffles punching his ticket to Worlds. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Excited and standing by with Maria Ho.
Shuffles, first off, congratulations for making it to the finals. You are now going to go to the Summoners War Championships along with Barian and Sai from the LA Regional. So you look pretty excited. Do you feel excited?
I'm super excited to go. Don't get me wrong. I just felt like, I did get a bit lucky in that last one. His Garo scared the bejesus out of me. That was no joke. Yeah.
So there were some unconventional picks from your opponent. Do you feel like, the first round it didn't really work out for him, but the second round it did, and then going into the third game, were you nervous about that outcome?
I wasn't nervous per se. I just kind of, I thought to myself, if I play my game, if I don't draft really badly, if I just, do my stuff, I'll be okay.
Okay, well, is it an obvious or not so obvious question of who you don't want to face in the finals?
Well, okay, I don't want to fight Tiger because Tiger's a beast, but he's my buddy, so I want him to win, so I don't know.
All right, well, we'll see who you're going to face in the finals. For now, take a quick break. We'll see you back here in a bit.
Thank you.
All right, back we are with Chuffles, who obviously is very excited. But, interestingly enough, the Garo really did scare him. And a lot of times as people prep for their opponents in these matches, they expect that very narrow scope of monsters that are typically employed in combination with one another. Then you throw a curveball out there. But could that have been to blame for Goku's demise?
I don't know. Like we said, I feel like Goku had a good strategy going into it where he knew the monsters that he was going to pick and maybe throwing Chuffles off a little bit. So I think Goku played really well. I think it came down to a couple different things. Having that defense break that was landing from
well, that's what he meant by
there.
saying he was super lucky. He got that full team defense
Yeah,
break,
yeah,
obviously.
that full team
RNG was
defense
huge
break.
there.
big.
Garo wasn't proccing the passive as much as he probably wanted it to. So yeah, could have gone either way.
Yeah, let's take nothing away, though, from Chuffles, obviously. He got through Sin Booty, and now he has gotten himself to the finals, as we see there the first of the two names that will stand tall. Now it's up to Howie and Tiger. Guys, we've seen Tiger drop one game in both of his first two matches. Could he maybe see defeat from Howie, who we know has been under the radar?
Of course, it's going to be tough. Anytime you go against Tiger, you're going to have to play 100% perfect throughout the entire match. And like Chuffles said, they're actually guildmates between Chuffles and Tiger. So, of course, he wants to see Tiger do well. But I think Howie could give him a good match.
Howie's going to be definitely giving a good match. I hope Tiger takes a note from his controversial aspects here going into the third matches. I hope he kind of stick to what he knows best versus those experimental monsters that he was playing around with. If he goes that route, I really do feel confident, though, he could potentially push through Howie and move on to the finals.
All right, so we're moments away from finding out what the outcome is, or at least in the first game in our best of three before we move to a best of five format in the finals. There is the arena. Everybody standing by, waiting to welcome the second two competitors in the second of our semifinals. And here comes Howie. Do we manage to dab some of the sweat off from that last grueling match? I think we did. And we had a chance to check in with Howie, who talked about the experience of being an underdog.
Certainly, Chuffles is definitely a top player. I've also heard the name Tiger being thrown around, so potentially there might be a final there.
Clairvoyance? He should start running a little psychic workshop or something on the side. What are those 976 numbers or whatever it is?
If he does, I'm going to be joining him, definitely.
Unless he takes out Tiger.
The prophecy. Right. And we see him coming to the stage now. Tiger, who currently calls Canada home by way of China. Could he possibly stick to the fundamentals on this occasion instead of sort of entertaining himself with some exotic picks, especially on the heels of having watched Goku go down to perhaps getting a little experimental?
To be honest with you, Tiger's a little unpredictable. So
Yeah.
I would assume anything's possible from him. I can assume that he's going to pull out a few of those LD Nat 5s like he always does. It's just going to be a matter of which LD Nat 5 does he want to bring.
Right.
Well, only time will tell as our tournament officials have these two set up. The headphones are in place, the tablets are loaded up, and we are ready to get drafting. Here we go.
Okay, it looks like Howie's going to get the first turn, taking that Wusa first pick. And now Tiger's going to take his time, looking to bring in that Hathor, who's done really, really well for him in the past, alongside with Villagel. Howie is up to go. 23 seconds to decide who he wants to choose for the second round of picks.
And you said take his time, but Tiger rifled in those first 2 picks.
He did definitely.
Felt like he knew exactly where he was going, regardless of what the lead was from Howie.
Yep. We got Orion in, as well as Perna. Perna being a great monster to pick versus what we have seen currently from Tiger. Tiger, of course, wasted no time with that Tian Lang, the unique monster that no one has in this current tournament here, alongside with Sekhmet, of course, which we just saw in our recent match here, providing that reset alongside with Fire that he used. He's going to be trying to incorporate that versus Perna, probably take him out in one shot.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Sekhmet pick here. I think it's a good option versus Perna. So you would assume that Tiger's going to keep Perna in for Howie's team. That's just one of those mind games that you play where you decide where, okay, I need one answer to Perna, decides to go with Sekhmet instead of maybe somebody else like Ganymede, which maybe Tiger has or does not have, of course. Yeah. Now we're into the last pick for Tiger, though, but Howie, able to get the first pick, does take away Wusa, which is a really strong monster in Tiger's possession that he typically likes to run for RTA. It'd be interesting to see Tiger pull out maybe one more buff stripper, but he ends up going with Virat instead, which is an interesting pick versus the Fire Monkey King there on Howie's team, because Fire Monkey King can't get frozen.
Correct, yeah. His passive is going to be able to not allow him to take advantage of the Virad's buffs right now. Considering that has come into play, Clay, do you, yeah, well, that's what I was thinking here. That with regards to that Wusa ban, I think he has to go ahead and lock it down. Even though he can't lock down Mihao Wang, I mean, obviously, he doesn't want the immunity on everybody else. He wants to be able to control the fight between Sekhmet and Hathor.
And as we see these two teams starting, not a whole lot of damage from Tiger's team. A lot of supports again, like we've seen in the past, but we do have quite a few damage dealers from Howie. So potentially, if he can take down 1 or 2 monsters, if Howie can break through that shield as quick as possible and take down one of those support monsters, it could be heavily in favor of Howie, but we'll just see if he's able to land the key defense breaks, but able to get a stun. Unfortunately, violent procs right out of it, coming right back into just a one-person stun, unfortunately.
It's pretty surprising considering the water and light pandas that we've seen so far. They're getting a ton of stuns today.
But we've seen that a lot from Tiger, not having a whole lot of luck on the debuffs, whether it's if he's building less accuracy than people normally would. Going right into the defense broken Meiho Wang, the Fire Monkey King there on the right-hand side, and getting a couple of violent procs there from Hathor, just feeding into the HP of Fire Monkey King.
Still trying to work it down since he has everybody locked out. Are we going to get a violent proc from Orion? Nope. Maybe Perna here in a little bit. The Fire Monkey King sitting back. And looks like he's going to go ahead and use the skill to get him up, get him back from square one. Of course, I like the choice there considering it does have that cleansing aspect. Perna is ready to go. The defense break is in, and wow, unbelievable turn of events here. Howie takes out a crucial component of Tiger. It's looking really, really good for Howie considering he has that sustainability from Amarna and Perna.
Yeah, I was just going to say that sustainability now between Amarna and Perna is really, really good now on Howie's end. So this first match could easily go to Howie. Of course, don't count out Tiger just yet. He's got 3 great units left over still, but
and that tanky panda looms.
Yes, the tanky panda, of course. Again, just landing 1 stun. Tiger's looking for more than just that, but man, if Howie can take out 1 more monster, if Tiger gets that reset now on Perna, does get it, takes it down, kills it in 1 turn with Sekhmet.
15k damage there, despite the fact that we're not just a little bit into the match, as you guys saw right there. 20% up, HP 20% down, or 20% up in the attack power, and then 20% down to the HP there. Tons of damage on that Sekhmet here. I wonder.
Tiger taking out the Fire Monkey King now, up 3-2.
And just as you think that it's in Tiger's, just as you thought it was in Howie's favor,
right.
Tiger came right back, couple of plays, turned the whole thing around, couple of violent procs as well. Luck was in his favor and able to go up 1 game to 0.
So considering that the luck was in his favor, does Howie change his strategy? It looked like it was working pretty good early on.
it's gonna be difficult to say because
But who cares about whether or not it was working early on? Because it didn't bring it home, right? And let's face it, because early on, Tiger didn't get a lot of the RNG on his side. Granted, it could be about not building out with the accuracy, but you know, it felt like it was broke. So maybe you do fix it, don't you think, Clay?
I would agree with that. I would say maybe try a different strategy. Maybe bring that Win Panda back into play that we've seen in the past as well. But Tiger getting the first pick goes right into Wusa, and then Howie having the same comeback that Tiger had against him last game, picking the Hathor and Velajuel.
Role reversal.
Yeah, exactly. And now Tiger going right into the segment once again, along with Tian Lang.
It's an interesting point to put out Tian Lang early on. I guess he understands that Tiger is just going to be using it right away here, but you know, generally speaking, we normally see people take those kind of super rare monsters that the other opponent does not have and wait to the very end to pick it. What do you think about that?
I feel like it's holding a monster's place where you don't give away the rest of your strategy.
Gotcha. It looks like Howie's coming back at it again with that Wu Yang there, the Dark Sky Dancer. An amazing monster, 28% lead.
And we've seen Tiger pair both these pandas together in the past, and it looks like he's going to be doing it again, which of course is a good option for him. Yeah. But now we heard Tiger say that Ganymede Hathor was a tough combination for him to fight against, but it looks like Howie does not end up going with the Ganymede.
He's bringing in that chilling, kind of giving it away when it comes to Wusa. Probably going to let Wusa slide. But if he lets Wusa slide, who does he decide to ban? Looks like we got Velajuel looking to get locked down, but it hasn't been decided just yet. Velajuel is in fact locked down, and of course Molong here is taken out. Interesting choice.
I don't know, that chilling is a hard counter to Wusa, of course, but I think just based on the bans, I would give this to Tiger as well because he's got a lot more crowd control, and if he can get that reset right here, he missed it. So it's not the end of the world for Tiger. Of course, Howie comes right back and misses his skill from Hathor.
Uh-oh. There it is with that revenge set on Chilling. I was kind of worried about Chilling early on, honestly, because of the fact that it doesn't have that AoE kind of buff removal aspect as we've seen from other monsters that have been bringing. But of course, he is running some revenge sense on it. So if people try to focus him down, they're going to get some counterattacks in and possibly lose all the immunity that they have in play. Getting the attack buff in from Wu Yang, the Dark Sky Dancer. Just exactly what she needs to do some damage, alongside with the Perna combination.
Not as much damage as Howie was probably hoping for, but gets it here with a violent proc from Perna, unable to finish off the Tian Lang, unfortunately surviving with just a sliver of HP left. And Wusa is going to now heal up a little bit of HP on the Tian Lang, of course, and it's going to.
Can Howie take it out though?
I don't know if he can. He has the chilling up. I think the chilling will be able to do enough damage to take out the Tian Lang. Does not. Okay. But chilling now does have at least the immunity buff left over. Of course, he has to kill the Perna twice now. Has not landed a third skill from Sekhmet onto Perna.
But the triple sleep here.
Yeah, looking really, really good.
Down goes the Panda.
Definitely taking his time on that Hathor. Not really sure why he went for the attack on Wusa, considering the immunity was in.
Well, he didn't want to wake up any of the other two monsters, but of course, he had the second skill up from Hathor. He might be saving it to sleep one of the other two monsters.
Well, it looks like,
just decides to go with it the second time around.
The unpredictable Howie always seems to amaze me.
And here we go, nice crit on the Wusa from Perna, like we talked about previously as well. And
standard play.
Lots of sustain from that Wu Yang there.
Taking the time right now to see what he's going to do.
Interesting, he does not put up the shield because he doesn't want that chilling to take the immunity buff away from his monsters and not be able to lock it down. So I like that play from Tiger. Very smart choice. Taking a second there, not jumping the gun, but a huge proc or crit on the Wusa, leaving it super susceptible to finish off with just the first skill from Wu Yang.
And down goes that Wusa as Howie needs to win this game to stay alive. Will it be another crazy comeback from Tiger?
possibly could. He still has a good amount of control with regards to the team, but this may seal the deal. He gets the sleep.
Does he land? Yeah, indeed he does with the Hathor.
So at this point, I would definitely focus on Sekhmet first. Don't wake up the Varad just yet. Save that till the end.
And Varad's skills are currently down right now, so I mean, obviously we got to consider that Sekhmet aspect, and rightfully so, taking it out here. 4 monsters to 1, I believe. It is Howie's game to take.
So another one. Tiger unable to go 2 games to 0 on any match so far today, and
he's been pushed to the limit in every single one. And again, here, Howie the man to force him into a 3rd game. And what is it going to take for Howie to close this one out based on what we've seen in the first 2 games?
It's going to take some focus because, of course, Tiger this entire time has been kind of sizing up Howie as we go along this entire match here. And Tiger's one of those guys that's very analytical and has a lot of playability and can learn the other person's strategy very, very quickly.
Well, Tiger says he likes to go fishing. Careful what you pull onto the boat here. Howie might be more than he bargained for.
Yeah, it looks like Howie does take that first pick along with the Hathor right now, locking it down. And then, of course, Tiger is getting the Wusa, but hasn't locked it down just yet. 8 seconds to go.
I like that first pick from Howie because
it was critical to his win last game.
Yes, absolutely. And now taking it again against the Sierra Wusa combination, I think is still a good option for Howie. I would say maybe hold off again on the chilling pick, but always have that in the back of your mind because that chilling was super, super critical in how Tiger was playing and making him try to finagle his way around the chilling the entire match as well.
If you're Tiger, do you draft the chilling here as a block potentially at all?
I probably wouldn't do so. I would rather have him stay to the game. Again, chilling, being able to take a unit away from an opponent is really, really strong. But again, you want to put it in a position where you can use it to your advantage. He does have the Villager drafted out, so he could take that immunity. But with consideration to what he's currently laid out, I probably would just stay away and kind of stick to what he's been doing.
He picks up a couple of pandas as the ball back in Howie's court to finish off his picks.
Take the chilling. Take the chilling.
Take the chilling. He says take the chilling.
Take the chilling. It worked last time. Very similar picks.
There you go. There you go.
Go for it.
We must have a mic from Clay Tano to Howie right now, taking the chilling.
Telepathy there, and the Dark Sky Dancer to finish it off.
The strategy from Clay Tano, amazing.
And then he's got to ban out the Water Panda, just like he did last time, I would assume.
Mulan goes down.
Hey, hope you're not wrong there.
This looks like a very similar situation to the one we found ourselves in last game, which presumably would favor Howie, given that he won.
The only difference is that I don't think Tiger had Sierra last time.
No, he did not.
So
So
Sierra,
now you can either choose between Sierra or the Water Panda on your ban?
either one, I would say the Water Panda is definitely a lot more scary, but unfortunately,
He goes with the Wusa, though, on the ban.
I'm a little.
let's take out the Wusa.
I'm
I'm not gonna say anything because I think it's still okay.
Well, here's the deal. I'm a little scared about this set segment. If it's ruined relatively fast, we know Tiger has the rune. If he can reset Perna and then have Ciara and Molong follow through, he can take out that Perna right away. But nope, he does decide to go for Velador. He does not want.
He needed that. He really needed that because he needed to land the bomb from Sierra. That is 100% crucial.
And see, that's the thing. I particularly thought that he was going to go for Perna because he had Tian Lang to kind of follow through with the buff removal. But wow, unbelievable there. Molong getting 3 out of the 4 suns, locking it down. Of course, Ciara still can't land the bomb on Perna. Looks like he's going to try to take this Wu Yang out here. Ooh, wasn't able to get it done. And of course, Perna's passive coming into the play. Big hit there, but still that tanky Tiger, Ciara holding it down. Trying to get the Wu Yang out. Just a sliver of health left.
Use the 3rd skill on Velador. That's exactly what I was thinking as well. And
Down he goes, as well as the Sky Dancer. It's looking pretty soundly in favor of Tiger now.
Yep, Tiger is definitely on his way to the World Championship.
Just anxiously awaiting to see how he's going to play it out. There it is. Tiger advances to the finals and a ticket to the World Arena Championships in November.
Rather than subject Chilling to the inevitable there, decides to wave the white flag. No shame in it, obviously. And where was that battle won? Pick ban?
I would say it was the pick ban. I think Goku, sorry, not Goku, but Tiger made the necessary changes between his pick stage between Howie's pick stage. Of course, he tried to bring out that chilling again to counteract against the Wusa, but Tiger prevailed this time. Got a couple of the nice stuns from Tian Lang and Mo Long as well, and was able to finish it out.
And so he is now standing by with our Maria Ho. Maria.
Tiger, it seemed like some of Howie's strategies was to pick the units that you would have picked. So did that worry you in the times that he did get the first pick?
Yeah, actually, I did some draft about what should I pick if I got first pick, and I got second pick. Yeah.
But now you have given us the finals that a lot of people wanted to see. I know people are very, very excited about you playing Chuffles. How do you feel going into this final match?
Actually, the feeling is very good because right now the final is like malicious specific final, and Truffle is also my best friend in Summoner's War. So I think no matter who wins, both of us are going to LA. That's the most important thing for us.
Okay, well, both of you guys are going to go to the championships in LA, but there are no friends in Summoner's War, so we want to see you bring it, okay? Thank you.
Aw, you guys, they're BFFs. They're besties. Well, listen, as we've seen, there are some very interesting dynamics that can play out when people from the same guild, people who are very familiar with one another, do battle because there's so many layers. There's so much familiarity with their monster box, with their tendencies, with their favorite and least favorite monsters. So what are we looking forward to out of Chuffles and Tiger here?
I think they're going to bring it either way. Of course, they're best friends, and I understand that completely. You know, you build bonds with people throughout several years of playing the game with each other. But
And they're both going to Worlds, so obviously a little bit less pressure on, but there's a $1,000 difference in prize money.
It's $1,000. It's a show, and they're going to give the fans a good show, I'm sure.
I'm predicting I'm predicting 5 matches on this one because this is a best of 5 match coming.
Who do you think's going to come out on top? Give us an answer.
Don't you dare be Switzerland again.
You did it again. Oh, come on. You know I had to throw it in there, man. There's just no way I could pick one. These are 2 exceptional opponents here coming from the Guild Malicious once again. So again, whoever wins, it's going to be a great match.
Now, if I recall correctly, it was you who picked Chuffles over Sin Booty in the first round? Or was it Childish?
I think it was.
You picked Childish. Okay, so Chuffles is your guy. Chuffles came through, beat Sin Booty. If you can get through Sin Booty, why not take, that position that Chuffles can get through Tiger as well? I know Tiger has supposedly got the nod over Sin Booty, but, he's proven his mettle.
Yeah, he has proven it. And I don't take it either way for any of these opponents here, but Chuffles, wow, I hope he could do it.
Well, time will tell, obviously, as we are staging things and ready for the finals. Again, $2,000 to first place, $1,000 to second place. Both of these guys heading to the Worlds in Los Angeles for a chance to compete against the other folks from around the world and be crowned the Summoner's War champion. It is a best of 5 matchup. Everyone has been waiting for this moment, including those of you at home streaming. So let's get right to it. First up is going to be Chuffles. Look at him, he's loving this, man. Big smile on his face, comfortable, ready to go. Saying what's up to the fans. And here comes Tiger. No sooner does he get backstage than we bring him right back out on the heels of that victory. And Tiger has been pushed to 3 games every single match that he's played so far. Chuffles, meanwhile, swept Sin Booty 2-1 over Asia Republic, and then 2-1 over Goku to get here. And if I'm looking at things, it would appear to me that Chuffles has faced the stiffer competition on his way into the finals, and Tiger yet is the one who was pushed 2-3 games in every single match that he played. Not sure what there is to be taken away from that, but a lot of people expected Tiger, the pre-tournament favorite, to just roll over the competition, and that hasn't happened. So we'll see how he approaches this best of 5. Okay, right now, if I give the lead pick to Chuffles, who do you think he drafts?
Wusa.
You say Wusa.
Don't look.
I already looked. I'm so sorry.
Boo.
I thought he was going to do Sierra.
Is it Sierra? You did.
He's been doing Sierra quite a bit in this tournament here. So again, he is a very, very fast opponent when it comes to this, monster box and whatnot. So I like the pick.
And Tiger picking up that Perna.
Yeah, Perna's always a solid choice into a Sierra pick, but I'm sure we'll see Wusa at some point today, even though I was wrong on this one. And Childish a little bit slow on the trigger there,
I
unfortunately.
got
Didn't
some
even give us
issues.
an
I
answer.
apologize. I got some issues.
He likes to wait and see the pick, then tell us that that's who he thought it was going to be. As
Exactly.
we see the Velodual follow-up from Tiger, and we go back over to Chuffles, who's got that Tessarian, I think, coupled with
Praha.
Praha. To
Praha.
remove the will. We've actually seen Chuffles use Praha in almost every fight so far. We've seen him use it a lot, actually, paired with Huadam, paired with Sierra a lot. So a monster that he tends to like.
Yep.
Double Panda response out of Tiger. No, does not lock in, so goes with the Mulong. And is that the Hathor?
That is Sekhmet.
Sekhmet. Ah, I see.
Kind of hard to see on our screen right here between the fire and the wind monsters, but yeah, that is definitely Sekhmet.
And Tiger put that Sekhmet to work in his previous match as well, did he not?
Yep, he definitely put it to work, of course, getting the first turn with Sekhmet and then following it up with a couple damage-dealing monsters like he has showing right now with the Molong and Perna. But it does look like we're going to see another combination from Truffles utilizing the Huadam as well as Annabelle.
Man, this is interesting. Those two healers paired with Hodam could definitely keep Chuffles alive for a very long time.
Looking to make a real marathon out of this one, possibly, depending on the bans, obviously.
Yeah, but Tiger in this situation, you would think that he's got to take out one specific monster because that's the one that's going to be hard to kill because of the sustainability, and I'm talking about Sierra here, and that's the one that's going to be doing a lot of damage. So if I was Tiger, I would take out the Sierra. If I was Chuffles, though, I would probably remove either the Molong or the Perna.
Yeah. I like the Sierra band. I probably would go that route. I'd probably go Molong as well on the left side.
Tiger doing some calculations as he decides his last ban, and it actually drops down with Annabelle. So he decides to keep in the Sierra, which is an interesting tactic. See how it works out for them in this one.
All right, I was going to say, he does have immunity on Tiger's end, but once again, we have that Praha here that can take away the immunity and provide some dots, some continuous damage, so leaving him open.
I get the feeling Chuffles is just fine with that ban choice from
Yes.
Tiger.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100% as well. And we'll see if he can land the Charming Voice. He does get it down onto Sierra, and there goes the immunity buff from Velodual. Not a single stun again from Molong in this situation. Again, Tiger having some troubles with the accuracy, but here we go. Predicted future from Sierra, able to land the Oblivion onto Perna, and then starts working away at the HP on Molong to take as little damage as possible from that Reckless Assault.
Here it comes.
I don't think he's going to do it just yet because he has that
Huadam.
Huadam. Yeah,
Yep,
it's just going to
yep.
waste his
Just hold it
HP.
on the right. Correct, correct.
I actually think Huadam is a huge counter to Molong, especially if you don't have any sort of sustainability from Tiger. Chuffles is looking really, really good in this situation. Of course, with the bomb on Perna and Oblivion on Perna, that Perna is going down.
Definitely. Getting the attack break on Sierra. They're not going to do as much damage, but of course, when it comes to Sierra and the bombs, the aspect of the stun in and of itself, I think that's the big crucial point here.
Now, Chuffles has got to be a little bit careful here because that Molong could definitely eat the Huadam. And now having the Tessarian with defense break and not able to be healed, and he was trying to go for it. So Sierra doesn't land the bomb on Velodual either.
Unbelievable.
But
Still
Sekhmet's
one
going to get the
looming over
turn
the Perna.
for the Huadam, which is
Wow.
definitely what he needed.
Very-
And it's kind of going back and forth again, able to heal up the Sierra, but I think Sierra is still going to be able to come back, take out a couple more monsters here with the bombs. This one's definitely in Chuffles' favor, especially with the bomb coming down now.
There it is.
Chuffles looking really comfortable.
That's why Sierra is such an amazing unit, be able to provide that damage, ignore defense, and do it on any element that Tiger brings.
All smiles from Chuffles as he takes this first game now.
No resignation out of Tiger.
Tiger is definitely taking his time. I'm sure you guys can all agree. Using his time wisely to kind of think what he can do to combat what Chuffles has, of course, already laid out first round. And there you have it.
They went into overdrive toward the end there. Obviously, somewhat of a foregone conclusion once Chuffles was able to get up 3-1. And now, if you're Tiger, back not up against the wall as it's a best of 5, but you've seen your buddy counter sort of what you wanted to do, and these two are so in each other's heads and are so familiar with their monster boxes and their tendencies.
Well, it's interesting from Tiger's perspective. He's been using a lot of LD net 5s throughout the entire match. We've seen Vivishel, we've seen Tian Lang as well. He hasn't used a single one against Shuffle so far. Of course, it's only been the first game, but Tiger's been in this situation before where he's been down a match and he's done just fine. He keeps his composure perfectly, and he does take the Sierra away from Shuffles though. So this whole match might be a battle of who gets Sierra first.
Yeah.
Vivishel is Tiger's favorite character. Describes his style as methodical. And in the current meta, he just wants to speed tune all of his units pretty well. And we've seen some pretty well-tuned speed.
Well, he definitely has the runes to do it as well.
Yeah.
Looks like Truffles is not going to waste any time bringing back that Huadam once again. That got him the win.
You guys like the Sierra followed by the double panda pick? Very similar to the last composition.
I think it's a good choice. I mean, those are 3 really strong monsters for RTA, so anytime you have those 3 monsters, I think it's a good choice about.
But you also want to build
All
out
the time.
specifically to what you're staring at across the way. And, you know, Chuffles going with the Perna, the Velajewel, the Tessarian.
Nothing really standing out from Shuffle's side that could potentially give Tiger too much trouble. Of course, other than the Huadam, but Shuffle is showing Eladriel.
Eladriel for the first time coming out. I think it's an interesting pick, probably what he wasn't expecting. I think Tiger might have taken that Wusa away from him so that he can't stack the double immunity, since Tiger is bringing a ton of crowd control by means of 2 AoE stuns from the Pandas, and then of course Varad with his amazing skill here. So I wonder if that's coming into play. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think that Tiger is going to ban out the Vajra. He's got too much buff removal from those 2 Pandas that he doesn't need to worry about that. I think he needs to get rid of that Huadam, in my opinion, or it's going to be a long match for that Molong, unfortunately.
Tiger's got a lot of damage potential here, depending on the ban, obviously, from Shuffles, does he not?
He does. He has the Sierra, and the Varad can potentially do damage. Of course, anytime you get a defense break from Tian Lang as well, that's always a good option, but Shuffle is now going with a resistance lead. This is it's going to be a battle for Shuffles. He's got a really tanky, supportive team, I would say, that's going to take a while for Tiger to get through. So this might be a long one.
Well, buckle up. Shuffles can afford to take perhaps some more risks than his opponent at this point, considering he has the 1-0 lead. And in the early moments.
And now as the first couple turns go down, I like the Eladriel pick a little bit more because, again, it has that buff removal on turn 1. So it kind of helps counteract against the Wusa putting up all those buffs.
And of course now with respect to his main revive being at 100% heal revive, you have that aspect of you cannot work down Huadam, right? Because if you take down Huadam, you can get that, essentially you could take him out, but of course you're going to have to deal with him right away and get a revive coming from Eladriel. So just a ton of sustainability here.
Able to land the Oblivion onto Tian Lang, so any sort of gauge buff isn't going to be hindered, but not like Shuffles has a whole lot of it other than the Velajewel, but looks like it might get frozen right here. Decides not to go with the 3rd skill from Tiger.
Trying to take advantage of that 2nd skill to give Tiger's Tian Lang a little bit more health.
And I wouldn't detonate the bomb just yet either. I would just keep letting Sierra kind of pummel through, but gets a 4-turn stun from Tian Lang, able to take down every single monster, even with that resistance leader from Tessarian.
I think it's about time, considering the luck that he has had with some of his pandas and those stuns there.
Oh, Tiger looking really good now, able to land a bomb and start dealing some damage onto that Huadam. And Shuffles knew it just like that. There was no way that was coming back to it. Tiger had definitely had the upper hand.
Not every day that you see 4 units hanging out there deciding to wave the white flag, but obviously Shuffles, consummate professional, understands the implications of the build in the pick and ban, knew exactly what he was up against, and so he decides to get on with it as Tiger able to level it at 1 apiece. Not premature. I mean, obviously for those watching, they might think, come on, man, play it out. What's going on? I mean, it really was going to be impossible at that point for Chuffles, given that Tiger's going to execute perfectly, obviously.
Yeah, and you would expect him to at this point of the game, of course. But now Chuffles getting the first turn. Of course, they're going to keep going back and forth until the final round. If they get to a 5th round, that'll be decided by a coin toss. And Chuffles
And I like
now,
that wrinkle, by the way, because it
Yeah.
obviously helps to ensure that there's a little bit more of the skill, a little bit less of the RNG luck factor,
Definitely.
at least in the pick ban phase.
Definitely.
And we've seen Sierra picked first now in all 3 games so far. And Perna picked to counteract the Sierra in all 3 games as well.
Yeah, every single time. Tiger's looking to sit back here, taking his time. Looking at what Chuffles has laid out, the Sierra, Praha, and Tesarian.
Double panda.
Is it coming?
It's like a 2-item combo. You can't
Wait a
get the
minute.
broccoli beef without the orange chicken, guys. You understand how this works.
Yeah. Oh, not just
Don't
yet.
get
He's
the
waiting.
double
Or
panda.
maybe you can.
Maybe he's taking a page out of my book that I was trying to say, waiting for that Tian Lang. Let Chuffles decide what he's going to pick and then throw Tian Lang out at the very end. Will he do it?
Oh, I don't know. That
Yeah.
Shuffles pick between Amelia and Camila. Man, those are going to be 2 tough monsters to take down with the monster that Tiger are showing right now. It's not going to be an easy task.
No, it isn't. That Amelia providing that passive will is going to be a nice component to counter what we're going to be currently seeing from Half-Life, but let's not get it twisted now. We got the Water Panda, Molong, and Village going to be providing some buff removal so they can take it out.
And the 5th pick from Tiger there?
Vivishell, his
His
favorite monster,
Yep.
like you said
Dark
there
Heart.
earlier, Ali. And yeah, Dark Heart Magician. The first LD Nat 5 that we've seen from, actually no, we've seen the Tian Lang, but now we see a different one this game.
Well, he's LD Nat 5 rich.
Yes.
And so was it Sekhmet that got banned there by Chuffles?
Hathaway.
Or Hathaway.
Hathaway on Tiger's side, and then Chuffles had his Amelia banned, which Amelia, so strong, almost banned every single game that we've seen so far.
All right, before we get going from the pick standpoint, nod goes to?
I like Tiger right now. I love that Vivid Show pick, considering that he does not have, Chuffles does not have Wadam in there, but Praha does have a good heal. Wow, unbelievable hit on that Tiger.
Ouch.
Taking out
Lethal.
Sarin. Now he has an option to use his 3rd skill, but of course, with regards to the attack bars versus health right now, he wants to go ahead and hold it back and take his time.
You saw the devastation on Chuffles as he had to take a step back after that Perna did so much damage, and I think even now with Camila being such a strong monster, Molong and Vivishell really counterplay the Camila very nicely.
Yep. Vivichov, if she gets an opportunity to put that 3rd skill in, reduce the health, and then have Molong follow through with a reckless assault, we can see a quick match here from Camila, which is one of those units that is really, really hard to take down.
And Tiger's got to be really careful here of when he uses both of those 2 skills, because we've seen him try to use it in the past and it hasn't worked out very well for him because he hasn't timed it very well. Against Titans, he was using it at the wrong time when Chasun was able to heal him back up, so he's got to be careful again in this one. Unfortunately, there was a bomb that got landed onto Molong. Able to land a double bomb now, it looks like. Is he going to do it? He is, and he should be able to kill Molong right here. And it stays alive. Unfortunately, it's not going to be alive for too much longer, but Perna might be able to sneak in there, get it a little bit more HP.
Yeah, sometimes it's a matter of just those couple of extra turns you might be able to squeeze out that can be the difference.
Yeah. And there you have it. You did see it right there. Perna providing a little bit of heal to keep him alive, despite what looked to be Molong's last life.
Is he going to use the first turn? No, he decides to just play it safe, use the second turn or second skill from Camila and just nail it down. That Vivishell unable to really play too much of a factor in this game because the attack bars, every single time it's up to move, it's just not in the right position for Tiger.
Yeah. Kind of anticipate that, considering we know that Chuffles has just some crazy fast monsters here. You know, one of the things that he made a point with regards to Titans has a little bit slower runes on his aspect here, so that kind of threw his game off here. But of course, Chuffles bringing it to it today. but unfortunately here, it's not looking to be in his favor this match.
Well, a huge crit from Perna on the Praha. Praha able to heal up now, and I think Chuffles is still in a good position, but here we go. Exactly what we were talking about previously, where Tiger needs to play that very, very carefully. I think he's got it now, and he's able to take out the Praha, but still, don't count out Chuffles. He is able to get the
Perna down.
The second proc there now, and all he's got to do is take out that Vivishell before he gets that skill up once again.
We'll have to wait and see. He definitely needs to go for the Vivishell. Vivishell's going to be the one to really, push back that health.
Good amount of damage there.
I think Chuffles may have this one, but a nice heal from Vivishell into a violent proc as well. And then another attack gauge boost from Veljul. And that Vivishell is one turn away, and there it is, but he's got to save it.
He's got to save it.
Can't use it right now. He's got to wait till that attack bar is a little bit lower. And there it is. He's got to use it right now, and Tiger goes up 2-1, or is it?
Wait a second. We need to see those big crits from Veljul. Veljul didn't get the crit. We're getting some additional
There's a
from
violent
Sasso.
proc from Camila. Is he able to get back into the game? Going for the damage instead of the heal. But he gets the violent proc, and
Shuffles it up.
able to take the win against Tiger. What a turn of events. You thought it was almost over, but of course it could have gone one way or another.
Yeah, it was tense for a minute. You see Chuffles' face. He realizes exactly what he's managed to accomplish here.
That one violent proc. That's why you build your Camila on violent, of course.
There it is. And it's funny because Camila is one of those controversial monsters that was interesting. They used it a lot early on in the RTA match, and then people kind of stayed away from it. Now we're seeing it a little bit back here. Maybe he's bringing it back into the meta.
Did you call that one a little early, Clay?
I did, and I regretfully say it.
Ye of little faith, my friend.
But I feel like Tiger may have made just a small misplay. Of course, he went for a little extra damage on the Camila instead of giving himself a heal.
But would you have called it a misplay in advance, or only because of the way things played out?
Of course, there was a couple violent procs that made it play out a little bit more in Chuffles' favor. But I think that given the odds, I would have liked to have seen the heal from Tiger in that situation.
Just to insulate him from exactly what went down with the RNG, giving him the violent procs.
You got it.
Those violent procs are something else, I tell you.
And just as we suspected, it's a fight for Sierra throughout this entire final match here in New York. And down goes the Tian Lang along with Chisarian, and Chuffles answers back, of course, with the Perna Veljul pick, as we've seen so many times.
So now Tiger really does have his back against the wall, down 2-1 in the best of 5, cannot afford to lose this game, otherwise he is going to lose this tournament altogether to Chuffles.
Yeah, and this is it. This could be the final match that we're.
By the way, what a nice piece of frosting on an already pretty sick cake that Chuffles has baked himself by defeating Sin Booty, Asian Republic, and Goku on his way here to really finish it off with Tiger would to me, crown him a very legitimate champ of the New York Regionals.
Absolutely, and I don't think there's not a whole lot of surprises here. Of course, Sin Booty was the one that he needed to get through first, but Chuffles being one of the lesser favorites, but still a favorite nonetheless.
Yeah, well, we checked in with him, and he talked about what it's like to be an underdog at times. You know, he knows he's good, but he's not expected to win. Hey, here he is, just one game away from winning this thing, as he's got one pick left here in the draft, and we're seeing a lot of the same stuff, although that looks to be a new pick.
Actually, Chuffles has laid this out quite a bit. Some of the times it's been getting banned. He hasn't been able to see it play out after the pick and ban phase, but yes, it's an amazing monster. Ethna, the Wind Hell Lady, has a unique third skill, being able to remove some beneficial effects as well as stun. If the life is under 30%, it's a guaranteed stun. Outside of that, it's going to be a higher percent chance of stun, not be able to lock it down.
He hasn't played it in this match yet, though.
No, I do not.
Not this fight against Tiger. However, it is a very, very fast monster for Chuffles. He has it ruined extremely fast. I don't know whether it's on Swift or Despair or what set it's on, but I'm sure we'll see it today.
We'll definitely see it.
However, Chuffles has to be careful because he has two monsters that are very susceptible to Saurian. So if Tiger is able to land that Oblivion onto one of those two monsters, whether it's Perna or I would say Huadan would be the first one that he would go after with that Oblivion, and then combo it with Molong and Sierra. That would be what he's looking to do.
There we go. Perna is ready to go. Trying to take that Tessarian out, doing a little bit of damage, but we got to be cautious. The Oblivion is in.
But he still has the Huadam to protect Perna, so he's not out just yet with that Perna. But of course, he needs to start going after that Tessarian. Once he gets Tessarian down, he's in a good position. But without taking that Tessarian down, it could go either way still.
Right, definitely. The will is off of Huadam now.
Now, full HP on Molong. Is he going to go for it? He does not. He decides to keep the Reckless Assault for another turn.
I like the play on that, definitely.
Praha able to take out all of the buffs, however, leaving Perna super susceptible, of course, because he got the Oblivion, landed on Huadam, and I think that might have been the deciding factor of the entire game right now.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens, but as we see right there, Despair stun all over the place. We have confirmed it is in fact a fast Despair Ethna there.
100% confirmed.
Confirmed.
4-team stun from Ethna on skill 2 there. That's amazing to see, and unfortunately did not get the stun there on Wusa.
I believe Praha has her heal. Does he go ahead and use it up? No, he tries to work down that Tessarian. But again, with Tessarian being able to follow through, I can see why.
Are we going to get another 4-team stun? We do not. Just Wusa this time. Yep. Gets the heal this time, just in the nick of time.
Right. Looks like Tiger's going to be trying to work down that Huadam.
And a Sierra land a bomb on the Ethna there?
Oh, no, not the...
on the Huadam there?
Huadam, yeah. Trying to get a couple of additional defense breaks in so Tessarian can follow through. Looks like the revenge set is sitting on Tessarian. Now trying to work down Ethna. Shuffle's being able to get 1 out of the 4 units stunned, but I don't know if that's going to be enough.
I don't think so at this point, especially with the bomb already on Huadam, and then Ethna not able to land as many stuns as she did the first time, of course. That would be almost too good to be true, but I think Tiger's got this one in the bag, and Shuffles knows it as well and decides to bring it to round 5 here for the final.
As you predicted.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. Round 5. Again, I think this is what the fans want, a little bit going back and forth. Despite the hype that came around Tiger, Shuffles is an amazing opponent, and I'm really excited to got to that 5th.
Guys, let's be fair. Both of these folks would have had no problem sweeping their opponents 3-0 if they had the chance. Unfortunately, they're so good at adapting. They're so well aware of one another that it's just tough to put something to work that doesn't get countered in the very next game when you end up losing. As it's gone back and forth, 2 games apiece. This, the 5th and deciding game.
Shuffles winning the coin toss and getting the first pick here through Sierra. And then, of course, we do see the Perna pick right back into the Sierra as well, along with Tessarian right off the bat from Tiger. What do you think about that, Childish?
I like it. They're going back and forth with regards to what they've picked. So we'll have to see, though, what he decides to lay out just yet. Of course, either way, these initial picks are great, but after they lay them out, this is what I like to see. Are they going to play into the other opponent's perspective of what they're using, or are they going to stick to what has done them some wins early on in the tournament?
You know, I really like the choice picking Tessarian early because that's a huge counter to Perna, of course, and of course, Shuffles most likely would have picked it if Tiger didn't take that away from him. So we do see now the Tian Lang and Hathor combination dropping down now from Tiger, and Amelia almost a 100% ban. Tiger does not like to fight against Amelia by any means. So I like that decision from Shuffles just to give Tiger something to think about.
Yeah, that passive immunity is pretty strong. It also brings a defense buff for the team, which back in the day was not something that people considered. That defensive mechanic, super strong in the later stages of the game.
Going back to the Camila here from Shuffles and leaving Tiger to decide his 5th and final monster going into this grand finale here.
Predictions on this 5th one, Clay?
No, you're not allowed to ask for predictions,
allowed to
Childish, because
I'm
you
allowed.
never, ever want to go out on that limb.
Hey,
you
that's the
predict
thing.
something.
I had to say it first. Otherwise, you're going to say it, and I'm going to be like, what did you do just now? I had to throw it out there.
So what's your prediction?
I'm not really sure what's going on there.
Tiger not going to be able to put both those pandas to work as the ban is in.
I think Chuffles got it. That's my prediction.
Okay, well, as much as I love Chuffles, I like to go up against Clay. So my man is Tiger to take it down.
Oh, just don't be a contrarian for the sake of being a
tell you
contrarian.
what.
Look at the picks.
The picks are strong. I like
They're very
Advantage
strong.
Chuffles, say it. Advantage Chuffles right now.
advantage Shuffles, but go Tiger.
And by the way, what a statement this would be for the community if Chuffles is able to get through a guy like Tiger who has made such a significant investment. A lot of people out there have their opinions about, you know, the rune quality and all of this. As Clay, you got a look on your face. What do we see?
Chuffles just missed the bomb on Mo Long, leaving it available. But Mo Long just has the same bad luck as Sierra did. Unfortunately, not able to remove a single immunity buff from Chuffles' team. And now
So a wash there, pretty level.
pretty level there so far. A couple violent procs there from Perna. Chuffles now answering back, going right after that. Perna does get a violent proc from Sierra as well. Mo Long now going to be taking the Reckless Assault. Is he going to use it onto Veldra, or is he going to save it for Camila? I think he really needs to save it for Camila. Otherwise, that Panda is going to be down for the rest of the match. Chuffles, I think, liked that choice from Tiger and advantage Chuffles.
Yeah, okay. It definitely seems the way to be, but let's wait to the very end.
Drop that bomb on Hathor right there.
There we go. Oh no, he
Decides
goes
not
Saren.
to do that.
The Saren with the defense.
But why not take Hathor there? What's the logic for Chuffles?
I
I
don't know.
don't know.
He
knows
lost
something we
the
don't know.
immunity, so you know that would be a great thing to do. Considering no immunity, Hathor going to be able to really crowd control his team.
And that seems to be the bigger challenge for Chuffles in his path to victory as we see Hathor getting put to work right here and
Well-
sleeps 2 of 3.
No, I take that back because I understand what Chuffles did now is because the Tsarian is the only monster that can really take out Camila. Camila is so strong right now. As long as he
Correct.
takes out Tsarian, he's golden.
So it's a preemptive strike looking to defend Camila, make sure she's in play.
He gets Tsarian down, he just won himself an extra $1,000.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
Don't
that
forget the crystals.
The crystals too,
the
of
crystals
course.
are so
But a couple violent procs now, getting that HP back onto Mo Long, of course. Is he going to be able to hit it now? He does. Gets the violent proc from Camila. Is he going to do a little bit more damage onto... No, he decides to switch the damage
Wow.
to Perna.
But the Oblivion is in.
Oblivion's down onto Camila, unfortunately. This could be devastating for Chuffles if he ends up losing his Camila.
Well, Sierra's out of the picture.
And I'm surprised to see maybe him not using his second skill. Remember, the Oblivion is set on Camila, so if he lands a stun on Camila, it's not going to be able to, you know, get out of that with regards to his passive. And it looks-
Tsarian absorbing that bomb.
And I think it might be... I think Tiger might got this one now. Might have this one now.
Here comes a Reckless Assault to take it out. Camila is down, and I
There it
believe
is.
we can give it to Tiger.
Yeah. Chuffles is taking off the headset. He understands what just happened. As Tiger is your 2017 Summoners War Championship Series New York Regional victor.
What an exciting match.
Yeah, that was a heck of a match, guys. I mean,
Exciting match.
you see Chuffles in there. You know, I almost had you, right? You know,
Yeah.
because I almost had
That's
you.
exactly
You
what he
saw-
said.
Because if you didn't take the Camila out.
Respect.
But interesting, as you guys reflected on his choice to drop the bomb onto Tsarian as opposed to taking out the Hathor, who eventually played a role. It was his desire to protect that Camila, which was so instrumental in his approach to victory. When he was down 3-4, it still looked good.
Still looked
just
great.
didn't close, wasn't able to bring it home.
But as you saw, that Oblivion debuff going down on Camila, that was it. Unfortunately, Chuffles couldn't recover from it. He couldn't get the violent procs back from Camila to remove that Oblivion, and Tiger kind of sealed the deal at that point.
And Childish, this is big for the community because there's some like indestructibility that a lot of people had assigned to Tiger, you know, given the rune quality, given the monster box, given all those LD Nat 5s, and he has shown that he can be beat in any given game. Now, he didn't get beat in any matches, but obviously if you can string a couple of those games together, now you're able to move forward and get past them.
He went to the final match in every single one of his fights.
Right, and who would have predicted that? Not a single person, I think, would have expected that he wasn't going to have at least one sweep.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff. I'll tell you what, though, Chuffles has really earned my respect. What about you, Childish?
Well, most definitely. Obviously, we've been talking about him quite a bit here. This is definitely going to be really, really good for the community, just to go to show that anybody can come around and get it done.
All right, we are ready to send it down to the arena where it's time to hand out the awards. And there is a look at the two third-place finishers, along with the champ and the runner-up, as Maria will pass out the hardware. Goku and Howie also with a couple of really good showings. And runner-up Chuffles, a guildmate of the champ, the pre-tournament favorite, Tiger. Those are good-looking medals, guys.
I'm gonna see what I
We brought the heat.
A little bit more. Here comes your checks for second and first place.
Looks like the Malicious Guild is going to be taking all of us out to a steak dinner tonight.
If we can catch them before they leave the building.
Tiger, you just defeated your best friend, Chuffles. It was a hard-fought battle. We really enjoyed watching you. But what does it mean to you to be the champion of the New York Regionals? You're going to Worlds, obviously, but this title, playing against the best in this game.
It means a lot for me. I never imagined that. And right now, I'm very excited about that. This feeling is awesome, especially the last match I did with Truffles. I got some good RNG and I got a lot of luck involved. Yeah, I think that's the reason why I beat him.
Thank you. All of you guys gave us quite the show. Congratulations.
All right, I can hardly believe we got through it as quickly as we did. It was blazing saddles, despite the fact that Tiger had to go to the final game in all of his matches. But we took 16 players down to an eventual champion. It is the pre-tournament favorite, but what were the takeaways for you guys so far as we're looking back on the bracket here and everything that we saw? What were the most memorable moments for you?
I mean, I think it all starts at that Chuffles versus Sin Booty competition. Chuffles fought hard throughout the entire match and was able to take him down. And going in there, he still had a hard road throughout his entire tournament today.
He was battle-tested at every stage. There was no layups whatsoever,
and Tiger, too, on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, being fair, certainly it's not like anybody's a pushover. Tiger, so dominant. I mean, I do think it is fair to say that the path to the finals was a little more difficult for Chuffles than it was for Tiger, taking nothing away from anybody who was in the path for Tiger as well. Childish, what were your takeaways for the tournament?
My thought process, not so much specifically one person, but just overall in this tournament here, a lot of these matches went to the third match. So again, a lot of going back and forth, learning the strategies, trying to counter what the other opponent is bringing. I just love that aspect there, just learning back and forth and just trying to use your immediate situation and take down your opponent.
As the knowledge continues to be disseminated, people in the community have a chance to watch some of these streams, and obviously they get more and more tournaments under their belt against one another. More parity begins to emerge in the field. But with all that said, pre-tournament favorite Tiger, still the victor here, heading to Los Angeles on November 25th for the Worlds, along with Chuffles. And of course, we had several qualifiers from around the world who are going to be joining those boys. Everybody giving a shout out to Tiger.